Deception really separates great players from good players. And the more we can help young players become deceptive, the better they're going to be as they get older and move up levels. Yes, there are players that just have a natural ability to be deceptive. Whether you gave a basketball, soccer ball, doesn't matter. They would have some swagger to them. They'd be able to be deceptive, look off a pass, take a shot, or look a pass off, move the puck. There's some players that just have that innate ability. But can we teach the skill of deception? 100% we can. In today's presentation, I'm going to break down how to teach deception into really simple steps. Now, when we think of deception, there's a lot of areas that we can touch on, from being a deceptive passer, being a deceptive shooter, right? Adding movement around the puck, throwing your eyes one way, shooting the opposite way. So there's so many different ways. So I'm going to try to keep it as simple as I can, not to get off on too many tangents, but I want to really focus on the 3 layers of deception. So if we think of 3 layers of deception, we're going to have layer number 1 is going to be our head and our eyes. Right? So if I'm coming in towards you, I'm looking one way and I'm going to cut the other way, or I'm going to make a play the opposite way. I'm looking here, cutting across, right? Making my pass across my body without looking at where I'm going to pass. So my head and eyes are huge. So the second layer is going to be our stick and our puck. And how do we manipulate the puck with our stick? Right? And how do we show one thing when we're really going to do another thing? Meaning, if I'm coming in here, I'm showing this, but I'm going to throw it on my backhand. Or I come in this way and I can manipulate my blade to show like I'm going to chip it, shoot it, or pass it, and then I slide it across our body. So layer number 2 is kind of that stick and puck. Layer number 3 is going to be our feet. So how do I sell with my toe caps that I'm going to go one way, and then I'm going to cut the opposite way? Or how do I sell with my heels that I may be turning one way and then cutting back the other way, or adding a little shuffle and then coming out of it? So real simple ways to use our head and our eyes, our stick in our hands, and our feet in order to be deceptive. But what I'm going to do today is talk about how to teach it and how to kind of break it down so players understand what they're doing, how they're doing, and why they're doing it. And I think that's one of the most important things with skill. Oftentimes players just go through a bunch of different repetitions, a bunch of different drills, not really knowing when, why, or where they're going to use this, right? So I think it's really important for players to understand, okay, this is why we're doing this with our head and our eyes. This is when we're going to use it. These are some situations that you can use it in, right? And then allow them to be creative with it. And I love the fact that, you know, in practices we talk a lot about, should I use obstacles on the ice? 100%. I totally agree with using obstacles on the ice, meaning pylons, chairs, cones, whatever you've got. I think there's something to be said about players learning patterns and having things to go around and making it a little more fun in practice for sure. But we need to remove those and then add some pressure, so some human element to it, right? So whether it's a coach or a player, but adding a little bit more than just a pylon standing there, now you got a moving target that is moving and giving you a little bit of pressure, no matter what the skill is that you're working on or the drill, but adding a little bit of kind of, you know, pressure